Hello, San Angelo. Today we have a ton of news to get through. I'm James Bouligny.
And I'm Tessa Koskovich.
Tessa, how was your weekend?
It was really fun. I went to the Abilene Zoo and, just hung out with family and friends. How was your weekend, James?
It was good. We did election coverage on Saturday. That was eventful. And then I went to Dallas yesterday to get a Western Roundup video with Carly Joe Johnson.
Had a super busy weekend.
It was busy. But, the election, we'll get into the election. We have a new mayor in town, and both the bonds passed. We'll actually get into all the results.
San Angelo had a huge power outage this morning, and a man was seen near Lakeview High School carrying a rifle.
And the Western Roundup is happening this weekend. We have a couple videos to share with you, and San Angelo Gives is tomorrow. We have an interview coming up after these messages from Jim Bass and Carpetech with Matt Lewis with San Angelo Gives.
Save big on new and used cars and trucks at BassBunch.com.
When anyone needs a new car or truck, where do they go?
That's easy, BassBunch.com.
What? It's BassBunch.com.
Everybody knows BassBunch.com.
BassBunch.com. Did I hear right?
There is only one place, BassBunch.com.
If you want to save a bunch of money, the only place to shop is BassBunch.com.
My name is Cade Simmons. I'm the site manager here in San Angelo. What matters to our customers, I believe, is what we say is CT quality, CT experience, just making sure their needs are met, taking care of their home like it was ours. You just have to keep thinking of, it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. So just making sure you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of, and just knowing that they can rely on us, I think, matters to them a lot.
Welcome back, Eric. James Bouligny here with Mr. Matt Lewis. Mr. Lewis, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
You are with San Angelo Gives.
I'm with San Angelo Gives. San Angelo Gives is a program of the San Angelo Area Foundation, and I've been blessed to get to do this job for the past 23 years at the Area Foundation. And San Angelo Gives is something we started 11 years ago at the Area Foundation as a way of leveraging dollars that we have in the community and to work with people that want to support their favorite cause and have fun and see how much money we can raise in one day.
All right.
So we started this whole concept 11 years ago after we were watching a few other communities around the country. The first one was in New York. Dallas started one a few years later, and we just really watched that. And as software and technology just evolved and got better, we saw where we could scale that and pull that into San Angelo. So we launched the first San Angelo Gives 11 years ago. And our goal, we had no idea how much money we could raise. And we convinced our board, can you just give us money to cover the software and give us a little prize money and a little bit of amplification money, and I'll explain amplification here in a second. And they went with it, and we said, let's see if we can raise $500,000 in one day. And we raised over $700,000 in one day. And so it's snowballed since then. In the past 10 years, this is our 11th year, we've raised a total of $26 million.
Wow.
And the last 2 years, each day, it was $4 million, just a tad over $4 million the last 2 years each year. So our goal this year is if we can raise $4 million in our 11th year, that would get us over $30 million going back out. The best part about Giving Day is through the board of directors of the Area Foundation, the San Angelo Health Foundation, donors in our community, a lot of businesses in our community, they've all rallied ahead of time to help us build up prize money so that we can award prizes throughout the day. And all the prize money goes to the charity based on the prize that we have. It's the concept of the fun of going and buying a lottery ticket right before the big draw. It's how do you help your charity? If I gave $10 to this charity, but I do it at just the right time, that gets that charity eligible for a prize. They still get your $10. They get the prize perhaps, but more importantly, then we amplify every fund, every dollar that is given, we add to it based on how much we've raised at the end of the day.
Okay.
So last year, it's different every year because if we raise more money and if we don't raise enough amplification, the math can change a little bit. But last year was, between 7 and 8% amplification. So it's a great way of giving $100 to your favorite cause, or $10 or any amount. It's whatever you want to key in that day. Make sure your credit card has a good open limit on it,
right.
Or your debit card or anything. but you're able to do it right then and time it for prizes. One of the cool things about San Angelo Gives, we've opened it up early where you can actually log in right now, create an account, and you can, it's kind of like going to Amazon. You can do a little online shopping, look at all your favorite charities. My wife and I make up a spreadsheet, and we go, okay, we have a budget of this much money we can give this year.
Right.
Okay, we go through and figure out our favorite causes, and a lot of people do that. Mm-hmm. And you're able to fill up the shopping cart, put the total amount in, hit send, and you're done. We do it a lot of times ahead of time just because it gets a little crazy.
Right.
On the 2nd, on May 6th, on Tuesday. Yeah.
On Giving Day, has it ever overloaded the system?
It did. We experienced in our second year. So that computer system had a challenge. It got a little overloaded, and it never went down, but it slowed down. And so when that happened, what we decided? We're going to make
computer system.
We're going to have a 48-hour day of giving,
okay.
And so we just spread it out an extra day. The community came through, everybody gave, and we did upgrade the software the following year, which that's helped us too. So that's the cool thing about technology is whatever you own today, it's out of date, and you're always constantly upgrading it, and that's what we're able to do. And it's great that our board supports us so that at the foundation we're all about trying to work with donors to enable them to support the causes that mean the most to them.
Okay.
And we're trying to make it easy and efficient. And many organizations we work with 11 years ago, a lot of them didn't have an online presence. They didn't have a website. They didn't know what Facebook was. Now some did, but not all of them. And the few that had web pages maybe didn't have a good giving portal.
Right.
So we've seen over these 11 years, we've been able just through here's how you can do things. They've gone out and found that web company that'll help them. There's a lot of great local web providers that people work with, how different payment processors work, how fees work, and they've learned how to do social media campaigns. Back then it was Facebook. Now there's a dozen different social media
Instagram,
platforms.
TikTok.
So the cool thing is we're hoping that we've helped all these nonprofits do a better job of getting their message out to what they do, and that if you give $50 to this organization, here's what $50 does for us, and let's make it easy. You can still snail mail a plea at the end of the year, and that works for a lot of people, but we're trying to make it easy to where if you've just got a smartphone, you can go to San Angelo Gives, and I can start picking out what I want to do, put in my debit card and hit boom, and I'm done.
All right.
And we electronically send you back your receipt. We're a 501c3, so it's if you're eligible to write off the charitable contributions, there you go.
All right. How many charities in San Angelo does San Angelo Give help?
So this year we're at 265.
How many did you have last year?
We had about 253.
Okay.
Every year it seems like there's one or two might drop off. Sometimes people decide they're tired of doing that work or they want to do something different, and then we always have a few more come on. The first year we did it, we had under 100. So it's clearly grown over the years. I think the number of charities has grown in our part of the world too. What's great is we live in a very charitable part of the country. And I know if you could interview anybody in the United States, they would tell you, well, our community is the best place. Dallas is the best place. Dallas raises a lot of money on their giving day, which is they do theirs in September now. But they've got 5 million people to draw on.
Right. So
they should raise a lot more money. So we went through and we were able to gather information out of, there's a support network of all these giving days, and we all share how much we raised, the number of donations, and then we're able to look up on census and go, well, what's the population of that metropolitan area that they serve?
Right.
So we're able to do that all across the country, from Seattle to Dallas to Austin to St. Louis, New York. And obviously the great big cities raise a lot more money, but when you look about how many people they have, their dollar amount per capita is really low.
Right.
Medium-sized cities probably raise a little more. Their per capita number is not quite as bad. San Angelo, where do you think we rank out of that number? Number one.
Okay, I wasn't going to say one. I was going to go
number
for like 3.
one,
But
number one in the nation per capita
all right.
of any giving day. So what that tells you, we have the empirical proof, the data that says San Angelo is the most giving community in the country. Now, that doesn't mean we raise $4 million is a lot of money, but there's
Right.
a lot of other communities raise more. But it just tells me, and it should tell this whole community, we're very charitable, we're very giving, and people give to what they want to support, you know. And now for those people who say, I just want to help everybody, you know, God has blessed me and I want to give it back. Well, give to the amplification pool. Because remember,
Okay.
we said we take that amplification and we spread it across to all the organizations. So based on how they do. So, you know, the people who do a really good job of raising money, their amplification, they get the same percentage, but ergo, that's a little more if they raise more, right? That's a great way of supporting everything. We have a lot of people, whenever they check out, if they'll just give $10 to amplification after they've done everything else, and this is their way of just throwing it out there. You know, and last year we had close to $400,000 in amplification dollars when it was all said and done for the giving day. So that is a great way that helps us fund the prizes, because that's where people really get excited, is they're online
Right.
and they're going, oh, I want to make sure I'm entering my donation and I'm going to hit enter now.
Right.
There's some fun to that.
All right.
So
Another thing I want to ask is, if I give $100 to a charity, is that full $100 going to the charity, or is the server or anything, is anything taking anything out of that?
great
I
question.
mean, y'all aren't leaving here in a Rolls Royce, right?
That's right. No, we're not.
Okay.
Now I'm taking my pickup truck back to the office here in a little bit. So, as I said earlier, our board underwrites all the software costs. Some giving days do have a platform fee that they pass on or take out of the donation. We don't do that.
Okay.
Because we've raised the money ahead of time for amplification, so that covers our platform.
So you not only
cost.
give the entire donation,
We not
you
only,
put money on
if
top
you
of
give
it.
$100 to your favorite charity, they're going to get the whole 100. But we've raised enough money ahead of time, we're going to amplify it with these amplification funds.
All right.
And so they're going to get $107, $108 whenever they gave that day. Maybe more, maybe less, depending upon if they win a prize. We have some prizes that occur throughout the day that, you know, we have organizations that give us $5,000 and say, we'll match every gift dollar for dollar up to $100 until the $5,000 is gone.
Okay.
So, I mean, if we'll have a lot of people jump online and try to get
Right.
it right then at that time. And we're able to get a timestamp report back from the vendor that does all of our payment processing. We're able to see, you know, down to the millisecond, you know, that when those transactions cleared Visa and MasterCard,
Right.
and they were posted, and we allocate those prize dollars right back out. So there are times where gifts are matched,
All right.
dollar for dollar, and amplified. So it's a great fun way of supporting your favorite cause. And you're able to go to sanangelogives.org. You can go there right now and you can do your pre-planning and make it easy for you. We have a lot of people say, oh, I forgot I was out of town. Well, you're able to go in right now, and you can go all the way through midnight on Monday, and then at midnight, 12:01 a.m., it clicks from the pre-site automatically to the live site, just because the computers are so cool and they do
Right.
that by themselves nowadays. And you're able to start giving right then, and we go for 24 hours, and it shuts off at 11:59 on Tuesday night.
Well, Mr. Lewis, is there anything else you need
No,
to...
I appreciate very much having the opportunity to be here on San Angelo Live. We appreciate y'all's team and getting the word out to the community, and we hope that we're able to raise a lot of money for all the great causes in the Concho Valley.
Well, there are a lot of good
on
ones
Tuesday.
out there.
There are a lot. 263. Was that 265? 265.
Got 265.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah,
'Cause
all right.
you,
I'm having to remember.
no, you're good. We appreciate you coming on
Thank
today.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Back to you. Starting off the news, the election was this past Saturday, and both the SAISD and Coliseum bonds passed. Tom Thompson is San Angelo's new mayor after getting over 5,000 votes. Trinidad Aguirre came in second, and Gary Jenkins came in third.
For the SAISD Board of Trustees, Carla Cardenas and Amy Mitzel Flint won their races. Joe Self and Deirdre Butler are in a runoff.
And for the Wall School Board, Travis Garman and Brett Schneers won. Sorry, Chris, moment of silence. That's enough of that. Patrick Keeley won over Jamal Schubert in his race. Go to San Angelo Live for the full election results.
In news today, a downed transmission line near Rush Street left thousands without power in San Angelo. AEP crews were hard at work to restore the power of those who went without. Almost 20,000 people were without power due to the weather this morning.
Also, a man was seen near Lakeview High School with a rifle. Let's go to San Angelo's PIO, John Bouligny, who held a press conference at the scene.
A little bit ago, officers were dispatched to this area because a picture was taken and shared in a group chat and on social media of a person in the vicinity of Lakeview High School that was walking down the street with what appears to be a rifle or a shotgun. The subject never made any threats towards the school, never walked towards the school. The school was placed on hold out of precaution by SAISD, and officers were responded to the area to investigate this. At this time, it does not appear that the individual violated any law. He did not enter a gun-free zone with a gun, and we have also not been able to locate him. I do want to stress the importance of sharing unverified information through chats or social media. Prime example today, another one's hit, swap, and sell of a female officer that's missing out of San Angelo, Texas. And if you simply look at the picture, it's not a San Angelo police patch, it's not our badge, it's completely false information. So the dangers of that, it causes a panic in the public and with parents and students and everything else. So I would just push that precaution. But any questions?
Were students released today? Is this what's going on right now?
No, this is just a normal passing grade.
And the school was on lockdown?
No, the school was never put on a lockdown. We entered our hold protocol through our SRP, and that just ensures that students and staff are held safely inside as a precaution to the report received.
And that's been lifted?
Yes, has been lifted.
What are the next steps? Are you guys going to kind of do some more searching on this guy?
Like I said, from what we saw, no laws were violated. And so we can only do so much, right? If somebody violates the law, we can take enforcement action, but if they don't violate the law, there's not a lot we really can do. But we did place extra security at the school just to ensure that there's no any issues. Anything else? I think we're good. Cool.
And like our interviewee said, San Angelo Gives begins tomorrow. San Angelo Gives is a 24-hour online fundraising event. Last year, San Angelo raised over $4 million. Go to sanangelolive.com and click on the article to get to the San Angelo Live Gives website, or you can go to sanangelogives.org.
Also, the Western Roundup is this weekend. This is a cancer benefit concert with that will feature Shane Smith, Cody Canada, Dylan Wheeler, Shay Abshire, Gage and the Grease Monkeys, and Tristan Graves. It will benefit 5 local cancer patients, including Ray Cook, Robert Lassiter, Connor Barnes, Mallory Campos, and Carly Jo Johnson. We're going to run into 2 videos that James put together for the Western Roundup featuring Connor and Mallory. Check them out. We have been talking about the Western Roundup for, it feels like a month or 2 now.
Yes, we have. It's a big deal, and
it's huge, and I feel like it's going to be a huge show out for them.
That's why I went to Dallas this weekend. I was trying to get a couple of these videos that we're going to run here in a second. Yeah, I went up there and sat down with Carly Jo, and it was great, and came back, and I got Ray Cook's last week, and I have put out Connor and Mallory's. Actually, let's go ahead and we'll get into those right now.
My kids are everything. Like, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't fight so hard, but I have to be here for them, so. My name is Mallory. I am 35, and I was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer last August. Triple-negative breast cancer is the more rare and more aggressive. It's harder to treat. So I did 6 months of chemotherapy with immunotherapy. I will have a mastectomy done April 1st, and after that, possible radiation, depends on what the pathology report shows in my surgery, and then 6 more months of immunotherapy. The reason I chose to do a double mastectomy is just because triple negative is so aggressive. The reoccurrence rate is really high, and so just really doing all that I can to be here for my kids. I have 4 kids. My oldest is Cameron, he's 18. I have a 14-year-old, his name is Colton, and then a 3-year-old, Eleanor, and a 8-month-old. His name is Miles. He was 6 weeks old. I was breastfeeding and I felt a lump. I went in for my 6-week appointment. My oncologist just assumed it was a clogged duct. She sent me for a mammogram, ultrasound, and shortly after that, I was diagnosed with cancer. Since I was diagnosed, I've been off work, so I've just been home spending time with my kids and my husband. It's just kind of been day by day. Having a cancer diagnosis is really scary. Just kind of trying to live day by day just with my kids. My kids are everything. Like, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't fight so hard, but I have to be here for them. So my kids are just happy. They're always wanting to do stuff, always excited about everything. I just want to thank everybody since I was diagnosed, people from my hometown, Kermit and Wink, and everybody here in San Angelo, all the nurses that I've worked with, just everybody that reached out, prayed, done everything for me. It's been really amazing.
Hello, my name is Konner Barnes. I am 21 years old and I am from San Angelo, Texas. I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. I figured out about my diagnosis in July of 2024. I was having a lot of back pain and I was going to a lot of chiropractor appointments and massage therapists. Then I went to a stretch lady and she did cupping on my hamstrings and I lost feeling to my legs. So that's how I discovered it. She told me I needed to see some real help, so that's what I did. I went to Shannon. Once I figured out about it, I had an MRI on a Monday and then surgery on Wednesday to remove as much tumor as they could, and I've done all my treatments at Shannon, but I'm also doing some at MD Anderson. Life's been a little different. It's definitely changed a lot moving back home. I was living away from home, so it's definitely been a change, but I try to make the best out of it, and I try having a normal life as much as possible. So I just finished my 14th round of chemo this past month, and I start radiation for 6 weeks, and I should be finished in the end of May. My mom has not left my side since. She's been there from the beginning, and my parents are just the best, and I've had a lot of help, and it's really helped me because I try to be strong so they be strong, and we've done great at it. I've had so many messages and prayers, and I can really feel the prayers working, and just the amount of people that have reached out to me, it's been awesome. And thank you for all your prayers, and I love y'all all so much.
And don't forget, I still have Carly Joe's, Ray Cooks, and Robert Laster's that will be coming out this week.
We will get into weather right after a word from Jay Chandler.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the giants and who will never, ever flinch.
Into weather, it's been raining off and on all day, and it looks like it's going to continue raining throughout the night. Right now it is 74 and the temperature drops to 59.
Tomorrow the rain fades away, the high will be 83, and the low tomorrow night will be 51. On Wednesday it'll be a sunny 84 degrees outside throughout the day, and then Wednesday night the low drops down to 56, and we also have a 20% chance at storms.
We'll be right back after a quick word from Konner's Diamonds and Coins.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Konner's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Konner's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Konner stands by his work and offers free consultations including estate jewelry, Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Konner's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thank you for watching the Live Daily News Show.
The only locally owned news show in the Concho Valley.
Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms.
And download the San Angelo Live mobile app.
For the Live team, I'm James Bouligny.